want these election results to be a reminder to a lot of y'all that we are not all in community together, and we are not all in a sisterhood together. Like, we all understand that America hates women. We know this. But the amount of white women that have voted, not just in this election, but the last 3 elections for Trump, is more than telling. I want to read y'all this quote by Bell Hooks, because she's one of my favorite authors, and she nailed it on the head. She says, "Solidarity is not the same as support. To experience solidarity, we must have a community of interest, shared beliefs, and goals around which to unite and build sisterhood." And then she follows with, "Support can be occasional, and it can be given and just as easily withdrawn. But solidarity requires sustained, ongoing commitment." People are not understanding that there are plenty of white women that will always choose their whiteness before any other identity they hold, no matter what. Even this year, at all those women's marches, they were celebrating the 104th year anniversary of women getting the right to vote, like 1920 was when all women could vote. Black women couldn't vote till 1965. If your sisterhood does not extend to Black women, women of color, immigrant women, trans women, women with disabilities, if your sisterhood does not extend to others who are not white, heterosexual, Christian women, we are not in community together.
Black women have every reason to never trust white women in this country again. I said what I said. To my Black women that are my friends, if we follow each other on here, my acquaintances, I'm sorry. You don't ever have a reason to trust white women again. 52% voted against their own best interest over race. You'll never convince me that wasn't why. And I'm sorry. For those of you who wasted your third-party vote, I'm so disgusted and disheartened. You knew that they would never put that third party in office, so you wasted your vote, and it made a difference. It made a difference in the states where he won. So
about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks.
Yep.
But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing.
Exit polling data tells the story of what happened during this election. Look at this. This is coming from NBC News. I want you to look down there at Latino men. 54% for Donald Trump. Now, this is following that rally in Madison Square Garden, but also look at Black men. 78% went for Kamala Harris, but 20% for Donald Trump. Usually Republicans score in the single digits. And finally, of course, white women, 52% for Donald Trump, and then you have 47% for Kamala Harris. Now, Donald Trump, according to Pew, received 53% of the vote from white women in 2020. So basically, he didn't lose hardly any white women, despite the Dobbs decision overturning Roe.
It's fascinating to me what would motivate me to make my first TikTok. And it is sincere gratitude to the Black women on this platform. I cannot believe how generous you are. I am 100% not only committed, and I'm going to learn, and I'm triggered, and all of that stuff like everyone else. But what I have learned is that you support each other, you validate each other, you love each other, you lift each other up. White women, We need to stop competing. We need to watch these queens and learn, show up, take what they're offering us and give it to each other. I got you, ladies. I'm watching, I'm learning. Thank you.
Indeed it is, and indeed you do. Remember the man in the woods versus the bear conversation? And when black women had the opportunity to pick a bear over a white woman, we chose the bear. And how offended all of y'all were? Y'all just could not fathom the idea that y'all are just as harmful as your male counterparts. Y'all go to work with us. Y'all have drinks with us. Y'all go on girl night with us. Y'all will gossip with us. You'll befriend us. But in the dark, when the lights are off and nobody's paying attention, the fact that you choose my oppressor, you choose your oppressor. Fine. Let that sit with you. Like, really think about, sit in it. Because obviously, y'all don't, well, we experience it. But you don't even give a you. Y'all tell me what you think.
All right. I'm about to go to work, but I just wanted to get on here and say something really quickly. I'm very upset with black women right now in this country, because it's just it saddens me how we just, well, I ain't gonna say we, but how there's a lot of black women out here saying it's black men's fault. Why are y'all blaming men? This whole situation of women versus men thing, I feel like it needs to end. When does it come to an end? Honestly, because I just don't understand it. It's why are we fighting each other like this? It's just is it you have nobody else to blame? It's nobody's fault. Kamala was just not meant to be in that office, and we all know it's true. I'm sure we all know that it is true. You just don't want to take it for what it is. Everybody wants to be delusional, and now nobody wants Trump in office because now they're gonna have to take accountability for their problems. And he's out here trying to help people take accountability. I understand there's certain policies and things people don't agree with. I know my sister, she was talking about the abortions and things like that, which I fully understand. There are some women who do need abortions, but at the same time, we're not going to sit up here and act like we have a lot of women who are there who don't need abortions, just lined up like it's a daily checkup center. I think I don't know what's going on. I just know black women need to get it together. Where does the accountability come in? We're the ones who are raising kids, right? And we the one, then y'all, and then you're raising your sons because you're still mad at their daddy. Y'all out here trying to get money, having babies for money. Where does it end? Where is the love? Where is the self-respect? Because it's lacking, and it shows so much. It's just beyond me. I understand women's rights. I just don't understand where the problem comes in. Because do you really think we won't have any rights? Or is it that you just want to be able to show your ass and, do your name, your normal daily routine without people judging you? I feel like that's honestly just what it is. I don't know. I gotta go to work, but black women need to get it together, because I'm so tired of looking on my phone, seeing this crazy every day. And y'all out here crying over Kamala. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Y'all need to get it together. This is horrible.
One thing I know for sure, friend, I can't do another day of these people thinking they make sense. This trending, stupid ass sound with some self-righteous liberal woman who really thinks she's saying something to make any kind of sense. This woman talking about her proudest moment or whatever is that she'll be able to look at her daughters in the eyes and tell them that she voted for their rights. So when your daughters are in classrooms with gender confused little boys who are now pushing them down on the ground, causing them to have their knees scraped because this gender confused little boy is stronger than she is, and she feels she feels intimidated by it, but she can't say anything because if she stands up for herself and says that it's not fair that she's being bullied by this little boy, now she's considered the bully. That you standing up for your daughter's rights. You standing up for your daughter's rights when she finally takes up the courage, gets the courage to be able to be on a volleyball team, play volleyball, and next thing you know, now she has to play volleyball against a little boy that identifies as a girl, a little boy in booty shorts with his treasures all hanging out, smashing the volleyball in her face. You voted for your daughter? When your daughter is out here being exploited because there's all this hypersexuality going around and nobody is here to encourage any level of modesty or self-control or self-respect. So your daughter's being physically violated or being pressured to do sexual activities that she don't even really want to do yet, but everybody else is doing them and it's all around her, so she feels forced to do it. And then she's not supposed to feel any shame about it because then she could just go and get the consequences of such actions sucked out of her body. And then she's not supposed to feel any type of shame or guilt or pain or remorse because y'all told her it was her right and her mom has been fighting for that one right because that's the only right that her mom really truly cared about. When she wonders, why was I even born? Because her life is so hard, because her mom is stressed, because prices of food and gas are high, because there's war going on around the world, and she doesn't want to live anymore, and she wishes that her mom had just chosen to terminate her because her mom cares so much about terminating pregnancy. She just wished her mom would terminate her, and now she's having ideations of ending her life. What the hell do y'all even be on? It's just the stupidest. It's just absolutely dumb. I refuse to continue to participate in such stupidity. I'm not doing it anymore. I refuse. Okay? They're stupid identity wars. And we are licking everybody's wounds and feeding everybody's ego. I'm over it. Everybody around here needs a man and woman up.
Y'all, I don't want much. I just want to say I am utterly impressed by the amount of black men that I saw out voting today. You know, the media gives y'all a lot of slack for not voting, but from what I saw today, y'all came together, y'all voted, y'all put your vote where your mouth is, and I respect that. You know, despite who you may have voted for, don't make me never mind if I'm being honest here, but I am happy that y'all out here, y'all doing y'all big one by voting. Go vote.
Now that we've had time to process our emotions from the election, I wanted to come on here this morning and give an appreciation post to a certain group of voters. The 80% of the black men that voted for what was right. Black men, we love you, we see you, and we appreciate you. I know during this whole election cycle, they showcased those 20%ers trying to make it appear as if all y'all were like that. We should have known better, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But know this: we see you, we love you, and we appreciate you. Now on to a little housekeeping. They too also saw those numbers, and they are panicking because they think their worst fear is about to come true, that the black community is about to stand together and support one another, and they don't like that. So we need to go back to being exclusive and not inclusive. We need to stay in community. We need to stay loving each other and supporting each other, because we are all we got in this world. And the exit polls show that. They're already trying to start the division because they have put some bots out of black women saying that black men were the reason why she didn't win. And we know that's not true because we saw those numbers. So don't believe it. So if you see a bot of a black woman saying that y'all are the reason why she didn't win, block it, because it's a bot. We don't think that. We love y'all.
And black men, y'all pulled up. Y'all pulled up for us. And what I will say is that you have a history of doing so. The black men that do not love and appreciate black women tend to dominate the airwaves and they flood the comments. But 80% of you went to the polls and you did your part. And many of you looked at those exit poll demographics and were just as mad, sad, angry as we are. Let's move forward realizing that we are all we got.
Taking a break from dragging white women as we should, I wanted to point out something that I saw on the poll that gave me a little bit of hope and optimism for the future. The fact that over 70% of black men voted for Kamala, that is amazing, especially since I have pretty much heard my entire life that black men would never vote for a black woman president, right? I've heard that my entire life. Black men would never vote for a black woman president. So to see that over 70% of black men voted for Kamala, right? That gives me so much hope for the future. And I hope that we can continue to progress as a community and keep this going, right? Because we see so much discourse online. I've been online a long time. I've been online since I was 13. I've been online since Black Planet, 1999, right? So I've been on every major platform. Most of these websites, Facebook, Instagram, I was there when they launched. I was part of the first group of people who joined these websites, right? I've been on message boards. I've been on pretty much in every kind of internet social environment, right? And I have seen the conversations over the years, over the decades, between black men and women, and it's always been toxic. What y'all see now, it's always been like this, right? So to see, especially in this current climate, with the discourse between black men and black women, to see black men actually come out and support a black woman and support black women in our fight, I'm not gonna lie, that makes me feel good. That gives me hope. Y'all still got some other stuff y'all gotta work on, but like I said, it's a push forward. I see it as a push forward, and I hope that other people pay attention to it too and take note of it, because I ain't gonna lie, black men, y'all showed up and y'all did that. Thank you.
So with all this stuff that's going on, what can we learn from this? What did I see? You know, what I saw was 95% of black women come together in solidarity for a belief to get something done, right? Can this carry over into the black community? Or will you be upset and just say, hey, I'm going to sit this one down and I'm not going to do anything? See, for years, black women and black men, we screamed bloody murder, we screamed reparations, we screamed racism, but yet and still, we're being gentrified out of the communities that we live in. Most of you guys don't pay property taxes because you don't own homes, right? They merging schools together. They're doing all kinds. They bringing immigrants in and giving immigrants money in front of you, right? Will this situation be enough to unify black people and have a plan? It's 2024. We have a whole rich history for our people. I'm asking this question. This is a question that I'm asking. When will we financially support and endorse our own candidates to push our agenda? Until you do that, nothing's going to ever matter. It's a reason why you had a split between black men and black women, or arguments or things like that, because we don't have somebody that's ours. We don't have somebody that belongs to us, that we can say, hey, she came up through the Congress or maybe the Senate, or he came up through the Congress or maybe the Senate. Their family is from South Carolina or Virginia, maybe California. They have this history. They belong to us. We built these people. Until we do that, nobody's going to ever serve our interests in the manner in which they should. There's going to always be a division amongst our people. Now, I'll say this to black women and black men. You came together 90-something% to vote for this woman, Kamala Harris. And black men, you came together 80%. But can you come together for issues for yourself, despite the Democratic Party? What are on issues and things that the black community needs? If you can't, then you are a hypocrite. And you deserve, at this point, everything that's coming to you, because our ancestors have shed blood. They have marched, they have died, they have done everything. It is to push us forward. But we got the audacity to say that the elders dropped the ball. But you telling me like people like A. Philip Randolph dropped the ball? Huh? People like Alice Ball dropped the ball? No. They did everything they can do to push us forward to have the rights and the civil liberties that we have today, to say, hey, we have the ability to create our own candidates. I just saw y'all come together like this. So because Kamala didn't win, this is where you stop? Huh? Or do we sit together now with our own think tanks and begin to create? Huh? That's the question, because I'm watching everybody, women crying online, arguing. My own sisters was arguing and fussing at each other, all in group texts over this woman, Kamala Harris. These are sisters, same mom and dad. Y'all loving this woman more than you loving each other. And I'm asking the question, okay, what's the agenda for today going forward for our communities? Nobody knows nothing. Who's the deputy mayor that live in the city you live in? Who's your ward leaders? Huh? Oh, I don't know. See what I'm saying? But this is the hypocrisy that we have amongst our people. Because you come together for people to do things for you, not for you to come together to do it yourself, so you no longer have nobody else to blame. This is the problem. I keep telling you guys, I'm not pro-black man. I'm not pro-black woman. I'm pro-black people. I got cussed out today in the gym by a sister. She never asked me who did I vote for or what my politics was. She just was upset. She came back and apologized to her brother, but she was upset because Kamala didn't win. So let's just lash out at our own people. Because you know one thing we do best is tearing each other down as black folk, whether it's the man or the woman. Oh, we got 15th degree black belt on that. But coming together for our own issues, despite Kamala or Trump, for us, oh, we'll never do that. We are a disgrace to the people that was here before us. And until we look at ourselves in the mirror and recognize that and say we got some things we got to change about ourselves, nothing will ever change, and we deserve everything that's coming to us. Until we decide to change. We decide to change. If you can come together 80% and 90% for Kamala, you can come together for your community and your people in your community that look like you, that got the same type of grandmoms related and all that kind of stuff from your community. If you can't do it for your own people, shut up. I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.